Hello, familia. Good morning. Good morning. My name is MagdalineJanet. If you're new, welcome to the fam. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because we're always here having a good time. And come visit me on TikTok and Instagram. I'm there daily. And of course, welcome back to my oldies but goodies. It is morning today. I mean, right now. Whew, I slept in. Somehow, anytime I sleep in, I feel more tired. Does that happen? Is that a thing? Let me know. I know lately I've been reviewing a lot of high-end makeup and I've seen your requests asking for drugstore. So here we are. I don't know if it's me. You guys let me know. There isn't a lot of new drugstore that I have or that I see. Let me know if there is something new you want to see review. I check on Ulta's website. I check around. I don't see anything that's like, I think something you guys want to see, but let me know if you do. We're gonna start off with this spray. I'm gonna spray my skin. I just did my skincare. I updated my skincare a little bit, a new moisturizer and a new vitamin C I'm using. You guys know I always put it on the screen for you and I always have everything linked down below. All the products will be linked. We're adding e.l.f. spray just to give the skin a little bit of hydration. Although I have oily skin, we need some hydration, and I like that this has like a bit of a sticky effect, so the primer will go on very well. In the meantime, while that dries, let's do the eyebrows. You know, I always come on with my eyebrows on. Lately, I've been using this L'Oreal brow lamination. I reviewed it and look at the spoolie. I forgot how good this thing is. So what I like to do is saturate the product in the brows. Oh, what I did with the paper towel was just get rid of any sort of additional product that I have on my brows. That could be a moisturizer, sunscreen, all that. Look at this. I think my pillow. Ooh. All the products I use, I'm just gonna put them on the floor so my dust doesn't get all crazy. Ooh. My hairs in the bottom are always so stubborn. So I'm just pressing that product in, making sure like all the hairs are pressed down. Oops, I waited too long. It looks like a little tangled. Now I have to just slowly kind of like brush. I have to get a dry spoolie that's a little stiffer to get rid of all those little hairs. Brow combo is about to be this one. Ash brown in my NYX pen. You know, this is my favorite pen of all times. High-end drugstore. There's nothing else like this pen. The color, the way it creates these thin lines, and all I'm doing is following all that sparseness, just filling that in. You see how I have sparseness there? The pen to the side like this, and then I just flick instead of just going like this. Flicking is gonna allow you to get those thin lines. They're not gonna be harsh. Here on the front, I go like this. So I'm using the tip of the pen to create these, and I like my brows a little bit longer because I feel like they're a little bit too short. Look at this before and after. It's subtle, yet you can see the difference. Do the same with this brow. The reason I always do my brows first is because I have very sparse brows and I could just see the vision better when my brows are on. This brow pencil from CoverGirl, it is a micro pencil. Girl, I like to just create little lines because this is so thin, it won't really get out of control. So I'm just gonna make my brows a little bit darker. It's subtle what the pencil does. If you already have full brows, you don't have to go with double the product. Because I have sparse brows, I like to just go in with the pen and a pencil. You can just do one or the other depending on how your brows are. I'm gonna use these concealers today too. Revlon and then L'Oreal. You guys, I just dermaplaned my face. I cut it like crazy. I did it yesterday. I posted it already for you, short form, but dermaplaning I recommend 100%. I'm gonna just clean up the brows. This is always going to give you more of a polished look. It gives your brows just like a neat look. And then we're going to blend. Hold on, I have so many hairs that are growing out. I'm just going to fill this little gap in. It cleans it up. It makes them look super neat. Filling this little concealer combo is kind of nice. It's a little thick. And then blend. Brows are done. Brows take a long time to do, but once they're done, it's like gold. Like you could see the vision, look. Love it. Let's go on with some primer. I love this primer. This is the best drugstore primer. The point that I'm running out. It blurs. It becomes a little sticky. It has SPF. One of my favorite primers. No white cast. And of course, you always want to let your primer dry down. So I'll be back. Time went by so fast. Nice and sticky. Let's use Tier. When I do drugstore videos, I also want to do affordable makeup. The difference is drugstore is sold at actual stores like Ulta, Walgreens, CVS, Target, Walmart. Affordable is typically something that is an affordable price, but not necessarily sold at a store. For example, Tier is sold at Amazon, maybe Walmart. I'll link everything for you. We're still on the affordable train because this is how much? 25 bucks, I believe it retails. So I'm in the shade 33C Hazel. Let's get our little thingy here. Let's press. I like to do this. Everyone was like, no, tap. Let's tap maybe and see. I remember liking this a lot when I reviewed it. I just think it blurs the skin well. The shade is nice. You see? Why does this mirror look funky? Oh, it's because it has the plastic on. I'm like, now I could see. Oh yeah. You see this before and after? It gives this natural coverage. I wouldn't call it full, but it's very pigmented. It kind of gives a full look, but a natural finish. So yeah, this looks nice. Have hairs come, like, you know when you have a hair on your leg or something, it just feels weird, or on your face, crawling on your face. When it comes to foundation, when you apply foundation, you always want to take your time and get crevices. This helps because you can really get in there, but if you're using a brush or a sponge, it's really good. And I always recommend to take your time blending it out and placing it on, because this is your base. This is what is setting the precedent for how your makeup is gonna look and last. A primer, foundation, those I find are very important. And as always, you guys know we're gonna let this dry down. Tip number 2, let your foundations dry. I promise it will make a biggest difference. I typically give it like 5 minutes if I have time. If I don't have time, I'll give it a minute or 2. I'll do my eyebrows. I'll start doing my mascara. I'll do something else so the time I have, I'm being productive and I'm just not sitting around idle. Like right now, I'm gonna go make my coffee. I spilled. I don't even know how long it's been. Okay, this is dried down a little bit. Where's my bronzer? I took everything out, pero where? Oh, right here. Lonnie is that girl. This is the shade Spicy Season. Anytime I'm dealing with bronzers that are in this type of thing, I like to just warm it up here. That way it's even on the brush and you can apply it evenly onto your skin. Lately with bronzer, I like to just leave it here. You know how I used to bring it here? Well, I try my hardest, but I try to just keep it here. You see how just buttery the skin looks? Dermaplaning, I swear, I forget how good it is. And then when I do it, I'm like, damn, okay. Oops, I think I put too much here. So we're just gonna add here. It looks a little intense because this is just the start. Milani's that. Dang, I love how this looks. I look like I have a straight helmet on, but I like this. We're gonna add this blush from L'Oreal. It's in the shade True Rosy, and I've been liking to just add it right at the top here. And let this dry because it does feel a little bit wet. While we wait, let's add this color corrector. You see this darkness? You can really see the darkness up against that bronzer. You see how dark my under eyes are? I have like yellows and purples. Purples and blues. So yellow cancels that out, which is what color correcting is. So I like to use this yellow from LA Girl. Oh, oops. Just add it like right in the corner, and that's where I have the darkest. And when I blend it out, I'll blend it all. Makeup's looking a little harsh, but we have to trust the process. Now that this has dried down a little bit, you see how it just blends out so nicely? Forgot you have to build these up a little bit because it kind of looks light. Let's like right there. Now that I'm building on top of the semi-dry liquid blush, you're gonna see the pigment. Some products are like this. It's not that it's a bad thing. Sometimes you have to build a little bit and you see, ooh, okay. And then I'm gonna get my e.l.f. sponge. I love this sponge. This is the other one I use besides the Beauty Blender. Now that this has been sitting, I'm gonna blend it. I'm gonna go around here. I'm gonna get rid of that darkness. You see how just much brighter it looks? And now something I typically don't do, I'm going to spray my face. Let me move my coffee. I don't want setting spray coffee. Let's use Milani. I've been using this one. I finished one bottle, so I'm on my next bottle. We're gonna dry this down and then blend, blend, blend. Spraying setting spray on your cream allows your makeup to stay put a little bit. It kind of acts as a barrier. And with makeup, the way makeup's gonna look good is just by layering. Literally exactly how I'm doing it like this is how it will look good and last a long time. So now I'm just gonna go back in without getting additional product, just blending in again. Concealer, okay, okay. Not concealer, corrector. Revlon in light medium, L'Oreal in medium, N5. No, we're gonna go with the medium first. It's gonna be more of my complexion shade. I'm gonna do one line, one line, one line. This way we don't have a lot of product. We already have that color corrector underneath. I'm gonna do a line there, a line there. Let's let this dry for about 30 seconds. I was watching Jackie Aina talk about the way she sets her face and how she uses, I don't know, did she say 3 or 4 setting powders? I was like, wait, I use 3 setting powders, so I'm not that far off. And I say that because I have now 4 powders we're gonna use today. The way she was explaining it makes all the sense in the world because first of all, she's the queen. With my under eyes, you guys know I've been using this pressed powder and then a setting powder, and it just makes a world of a difference. And she explained that using a pressed powder first, like as a light layer, it's kind of like the start of a nice barrier and complexion where you won't look ashy or gray and it won't look like it's lifting or cakey. I felt that, you know. Has it been 30 seconds? I believe so. So if you're not too familiar with what concealer is, it will conceal your under eye area. You can conceal blemishes, dark spots. That typically goes over the color corrector. You see how everything else now looks a little more on the subtle side. Now we're gonna go in with the Revlon and add a little bit here. Just add a line there. Again, let this dry. While we wait and let this dry, I want to get a little of the foundation. Kind of do this. Let's start blending, and in the middle I wanted to highlight a little bit. Also, because I went a little bit crazy with the bronzer, I'm gonna add a little highlight here, blend it up so we don't look too bronzy. And the sponge, I'm just gonna blend it all in so we don't have any harsh lines. Try to do tapping motions. That's typically the best way to blend because you're not moving anything else you set down. Okay, now is the fun part. Let's set. I like to set my under eyes, like I told you guys, with the press and a loose. The press powder, I find, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. powder puff. It sets this in a way that it kind of highlights my under eyes and it softens everything. I like how it just adheres to the eye area when I add it first. Because we let the concealer dry down and you know how we blended it, now the concealer is not that wet. Therefore, we can set without it being super wet and us having patches. So I'm gonna get that powder. I'm going to look down like this, press it in, look up, but kind of also look straight ahead at the same time. I typically count to like 10. And then what a loose powder is gonna do, because it's loose, it tends to get in all the little crevices of your face and your eye. So what I like to do is add it here and bake a little bit, just like in the inner corner, and leave it like that. This way it kind of sticks down and it will give you a much more flawless look. I will leave this like this in the meantime. I want to set the skin directly with this medium powder from NYX, and let's just start tapping here. This is just like a bit of a light set. And I'm not tapping back in. I'm just using what's on the product. I mean, what's on the brush. Okay, damn, this powder is so good. It instantly just blurs. Now, what I want to do is use this finishing powder. I call it a finishing powder. I think they call it a setting powder, but I do think it's a finishing powder. This powder works the best on top of a powder, not really on wet skin. I'm going to get the Milani. This will give you like such a blurred look. I don't put this around my eye area. I'm just gonna do like a little bit of a finishing touch. This powder tends to, because of the texture of it, it tends to kind of sit on top of the skin. It makes it look like you have a white cast. You don't, but you kind of do. So what I'm gonna do is get that brush I used with the NYX, kind of blend everything together and kind of dust it off too, so that you don't have that white looking cast type of look. And I noticed this the hard way because there's times I like taking pictures or like, you know how on short form content I turn off the light and then I was like, whoa, you want to kind of just blend it and at the same time work it into the skin. So Koki has this bronzer I've never used. Koki sold on Amazon. This is the shade Soft Tan, no, Soul Tan? Soul Tan. Let's see how this is. You guys, I love these Morphe X Aerial brushes. If you get a chance, get the set. They last so long. They work so well. They're pretty affordable considering the quality you get. Oh, this is nice. I'm just gonna tap kind of right here. Tap right there. With the bronzer, I like to just pinch. And when it comes to bronzer, I like to keep it like above my ear, the top of this part. Because I have a small face, my makeup can look out of control in 3 seconds. And this blush combo is literally my favorite. Do is add the pink. This is the shade My Butter Half. Look how pigmented that is. I'm gonna add it like right here, like this part of my cheek. Ooh, right? Super pigmented. I'm gonna use the other side of the brush. Use the orange shade, Had Butter. Mixing these is my fave. And this I'm just gonna like add a little bit like on here, the front, like the apples. Some of this setting powder, this Maybelline one. This is the shade 10. And I'm gonna cut the cheeks. This is gonna help to clean up a little bit in case I went too low. All right, leave it like that. I like to add here. As you know, I love powders. Powders will make or break your makeup. I just think they are amazing. Oh my God, I did not set my lid. I'm just going to use a bronzer. I always use the bronzer I'm using on my lid. Depending on the mood, I like to add it all here on my lid or just on my crease. I want to bring it out a little bit. This bronzer is a little bit on the patchy side. It's not as smooth as I'm used to. It applied well on my cheeks. Let's use this one from Milani. I don't know how it's going to work. The tip looks good. I'm just keeping it close to the lid. Okay, this wing is about to struggle. I feel it in my bones. Hold on. I need to bring out the big guns, which means the big mirror. Woo, that's not good. I'm committed to this little wing. Oh my God. Kind of messing up the whole look. What I'll do is like mess up the wing, kind of make it super long and then fix it. I'm gonna show you how. You're gonna need an angle brush. We're gonna just sharpen that up. Clean it like that. Ideally, you want your eyeliner to be sharp. That way it gives you that cat eye look. If it's not sharp, it does quite the opposite. It makes your eyes look small, tiny. Most of the time, they won't complement your eye shape. So you see how it's nice and sharp? I need to get another one because these lines are way too jagged. Oh, I found this ColourPop one. It's their brown shade. No, this one's smaller. The ColourPop one. No lie, I think this is dry. I don't know how long I've had it. It feels dry, which is why it's not gliding as well as I would like it to. I'm looking on camera and this eye is a lot darker than this eye. Take this wig off that's been here like 300 years. I didn't mean to leave it this long. So I'm gonna get my brush, you know, the one we were using with the powder. This is gonna help us just clean things off. As I always tell you, makeup is always a back and forth. It's never gonna be a one swipe situation where it's gonna look flawless or last all day. It just takes time for things to look good. It takes time to develop. It takes time to learn, you know? I want to make sure we're all set. We're good to go. I'm still not feeling this eyeshadow. So what I'm going to do is get rid of product on my napkin. Blend out this edge because it just looks a little harsh. We want a nice gradient. Add our first setting spray. What I've been doing lately is double setting. Let me move my coffee again. This is going to help mesh all the powders together. You see how the skin's wet? This will also help us not look so powdery. And now with the sponge, we're gonna blend. What I like to do after, when my skin is a little damp, we're gonna get our powder puff and just set without adding product, right? Also get our blush brush, turn it around, bronzer without adding product. Press the sponge again. Now we're gonna set. This is what's gonna make our makeup last all day. I'm gonna do a bit of a wear test. I'm running out of this. I have a backup, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna have to bring the backup out today. This is a mist, so this kind of dries quickly. Again, we're gonna go. I love two mixed mascaras. I'm gonna start with this one and then use this one. I love this L'Oreal mascara. I reviewed it and it worked out so well. So let's start off with the Mabes. I'm gonna use my Real Technique separator. You know, I love this thing. And then L'Oreal. This will give us a bit more volume. Separate. One more layer. Just like everything, we layer here. Ooh. Let's do a red lip. Maybelline Lifter lip liners have literally been one of my favorites, along with the NYX ones. This is the shade Main Character, and their gloss. Their pump gloss is literally my favorite pump gloss. It's the plumpiest gloss ever. And because this dries down matte, a little gloss, it will help not accentuate your lip lines. This is the shade Red Flag. Oh! Should I drink my coffee? It's gonna mess up my lipstick. Maybe not. Not yet. Wow, skin looks good. Skin looks flawless. Drugstore. We love a good affordable product. Look at this. I still have that dent on my face. Everything turned out so well. Everything blended out well. The only thing is the eyeliner was super not helpful, but I do think it's because it's dry. We're gonna chalk it up to that. Mascara, this, I don't think it worked as well. I need more volume. This does such a great job separating and lengthening. I think it kind of took over this part. If I would have used this alone, I think it would have worked better. My mascara, it looks fine, but it's definitely not the voluminous look I typically have, which is fine. And everything else I love. Kokie bronzer worked out well on my cheeks, but somehow on my lids it looks a little bit chalky. Maybe it's just texture. The eyelid skin is very different from my face. I think it worked out well. That's just the only caveat. Everything else, the powder concoction, I think is definitely my favorite because look how smooth everything looks. Under eyes look good. The lip. Red just gives such a great pop, and my nails have really motivated me to wear more of a red lip. I will do a wear test in golden hours. Currently 11, started around 10. Let's probably go in front of the window so you can see how things look. If anything changes, I'll definitely let you know in the wear test. I loved everything. I will tag everything below. Let me know what new drugstore makeup you want to see, whether it's on Amazon or at a store. I'll definitely try to do maybe like another full face of new drugstore, because technically this is kind of new drugstore, but not like the newest. Okay, face, skin, B is looking good. What do you think? Oh, look, in front of the window. Everything's so smooth, so flawless. And it's like a good makeup day. You know when we have those? That's today. Okay, bye. Oh, the lighting is perfect. It's been about, I think, 8 hours. Nothing is budging. Oils are coming in a little bit, but not really, just because we put so much powder on. Drugstore is drugstoring. I love how the skin looks. Lastly, let me know which one is your favorite product here. Let me know. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me and spending a little bit of your day with me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the button right there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.